I have a couple of videos on my channel where I'm talking about phase alignment and why it's important to pay attention to your phase alignment. And in today's video, I'm going to show you why it's actually that important and what's happening when your phase alignment is not correct. So let's go. So why it's important to pay attention to your phase alignment, especially on instruments that are captured by 2 microphones or more. This is what I'm going to show you in this video. So let's say you got a snare drum like this. You got a microphone and you place your microphone on top of the snare drum. What happens is as soon as the stick hits the head of the snare drum starts to move the air around and the microphone is capturing the moving air. And long story short, what your microphone is doing is what you can see in your DAW as a wave file would look like this, for example. So if we listen to that recording from a snare top microphone, it would sound like this. Now, as we have recorded the snare drum with 1 microphone, as I said, we get this wave file. And what is now happening if you send that wave file to your speaker, got a speaker here, and depending on how the speaker is attached to your system, this wave file would tell the speaker what to do. And let's say the first wave or the first part of the wave goes down, what means the speaker would pull back. Can you pull back this way? Now the second part of the waveform goes up, what means the speaker goes out and pushes the air outwards. So this wave file would mean for the speaker it pulls back, pushes out, pulls back, pushes out, pulls back, pushes out to represent that wave file that the microphone captured from the snare drum. So now let's imagine we got a second microphone. The first one was placed on top of the snare drum, and now the second one is placed at the bottom of the snare drum, is capturing the other side. So you got a second recording, what would look like this, because of the bottom of the snare drum is moving the air the other way around than the top microphone. The wave file would look like this. It goes the other way around. So now at that moment, pause the video and drop a comment below what you think what would be audible if I would hit the play button to listen to the playback of both snare drum recordings. So hit the pause button. Welcome back. Thank you for your comment. And now I want to hit play and let's see what we can hear. As you hear, we don't hear anything. So why is this? Now remember what this means for your speaker. The recording from the first microphone, from the top microphone, tells the speaker to pull back at the first moment, and at the same time the second microphone tells the speaker exactly the opposite. So one microphone recording tells the speaker to pull back and the other one tells the speaker to push out. So what the speaker will do? Nothing, because plus and minus gets 0. No movement for the speaker at all. We would expect to get a more strength signal from both microphones, and what happens, both microphones are canceling out each other. And this is why the phase alignment is so important. So see what happens if I switch the phase from the second microphone to the opposite. Now the phase is switched 180 degrees, so it's completely the opposite. And now let's listen what it sounds like right now. So now we got a complete signal from both microphones, which is adding up each other. So in Cubase, you can do this in the channel settings, for example, with the phase button down here. You could also switch the phase on the clip. Therefore, you need to go to Audio, Processes, and Invert Phase. And now you can see on the screen what happened. The phase is inverted. It's completely the opposite. Now it's the exact same wave file as the top one. This is an example, and this is not what happens in a real world. To make really clear what happens when 2 signals are canceling out each other, I've just copied the first microphone and switched the phase to show you what happened. To get a more real world example, it would look like this. So we have now some real recordings. This one is a top recording from a snare drum, and this one is a bottom recording from the snare drum, and both together sound like this. Snare top only, snare bottom only. To find out in this case if the phase alignment is correct or not, we're going to focus on the bottom of the snare drum, the snare bottom. I've now set up a filter that with a low cut and a high cut. That's the low cut filter at 100 Hz and the high cut at 250 Hz to just focus on the bottom of the snare, frequency wise in this case. And now it sounds like this. And what I'm going to do now is I will switch the phase on the bottom snare microphone and now listen to what happens to the body of the snare drum when I switch the phase. If the phase alignment is correct, you would get a full, strong body of the snare drum, and if the phase alignment is not correct, it would cancel out the body of the snare drum. Do it once again with original phase and with switched phase. I guess it's also visible on a frequency analyzer. So let's see what it looks like on the analyzer with the original phase. So the snare peaks at about minus 52, 53 decibel. And now with the switched phase, it's getting up to almost 36. So this is why you should pay attention to your phase alignment. If your phase alignment is not correct, your recordings will canceling out each other, especially in the lower frequencies, because the wavelengths in the lower frequencies are much bigger than in the higher frequencies. Therefore, the cancellation is stronger in the lower frequencies. So think about it next time you record an instrument with more than one microphone, for example, a whole drum kit with 2 snare drum microphones or also 2 kick drum microphones. It's absolutely the same about the kick drum microphone. Or if you record an acoustic guitar with more than one microphone, there can be a phase cancellation as well. If your phase alignment is correct, you have a lot easier in mixing than when your phase alignment is not correct. Think about it, the phase alignment of the both snare drum microphones are cancelling out the bottom end, and if you would try with an EQ on compression to bring up the bottom end of the snare drum, it's much more easier to just check the phase alignment, correct the phase alignment if necessary. It's much more easier than trying to fix it with an EQ or a compressor and such. By the way, talking about EQing, if you not know where the bottom of the snare drum is in your frequency spectrum, or if you don't know how to EQ a snare drum or a kick drum or an acoustic guitar, you can now grab my EQ cheat sheet for free. I will link that down in the description below. Head over to my website and sign up with your email address to get the EQ cheat sheet. This will help you to quickly identify areas you have to correct or you have to EQ a little bit without searching too much in the frequency spectrum, especially when you're just starting out and you don't know where to start EQing. This will help you a lot. So if there was something in this video you found helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Help me making more of these videos. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel to get notified on new videos. So far for today, hope you now gotten a little understanding for phase alignment and you know what you have to pay attention for next time you sit in front of your DAW mixing multiple microphones. See you in the next video. Ciao.